This is Sneha Pathak. Sneha has done social work from University of Delhi, and she is always vocal about the issues relating to women and other vulnerable groups in the society. We decided to talk to her as part of this series on women and society on behalf of the Center for Social Management Solutions. Hope you all will get enlightened and benefited by her views, which are her personal.
So we are a family of 4, there are 2 sisters and my parents, and we are a very liberal family, so to speak. I mean, for instance, my mother would do the more manlier job, like getting groceries, paying the bill, looking for someone to put our house on rent, whereas my dad also contributes in cooking and whenever he can cleaning too, if there is a shortage of maids. However, having said that, in such a liberal family too, if I don't fill the water bottle on time, or if I don't remove my plates from the dining table, my parents would be like, "Arey, iski shaadi kahan hogi?" It's odd because I don't think they say the same for children, right? Because I'm a very compassionate person, I'm kind, I'm doing well in college. These things won't count in the end. What counts is my skill to pick up my plate and put it back in the kitchen. It's absurd, and I'm belong to one of the more liberal families. So I think it's very rooted, patriarchy. It's very rooted in my household, very rooted in many households. When I go to my cousin's house in Banaras, the sister, there's one sister and 3 brothers, she does all the household work. That is how it's always been. And if I try to create a ruckus, I'm always asked to, keep quiet because it's not my business. So it really bothers me at a very significant level. Even ads, for instance, for sanitary pads, why should we show the blood to be blue? Why should that be done? Why should we take our sanitary pads in black packages like it's something shameful? It happens to everyone, even girls. I can't speak to girls about it because they're like, why would you talk about this? It happens to everyone, every single month. It's painful. It's the worst experience if you have dysmenorrhea and PMS, but you can't talk about this. You can't talk about how waxing is painful, for instance. Why should we conform to these beauty norms? But I do, because I'm not a radical feminist, so to speak. I do abide by certain social norms, but even in a college like CLC, it's a law college, law faculty in DU, I get told by other female classmates that तेरी शादी कहाँ होगी, तेरा बॉयफ्रेंड कौन बनेगा अगर तुम ऐसे करोगे, अगर तुम वैक्सिंग नहीं करोगी, वगैरह वगैरह. So it's a really hard place to be when you have certain principles. So what I aim right now, or what I want right now, is basic equality between the 2 genders, man and woman. Even if, there's certain, it's very rooted, like I said earlier. Even if, you have to conform to certain beauty ideals, which is quite a pain if you ask me, and I'm not a big fan of, torturing myself on a monthly basis. But you have to conform to these rules because it's odd if you don't. You get pointed at. So unless you have the courage to face the world like that and struggle every single day, you have no choice. And I don't understand why men would have a problem with radical or feminism, just so to speak. Because, there are movements like Free the Nipple. I don't see why men would have a problem with that. There are girls who are fighting to wear hot pants in public. It's a joke, of course, but it's a win-win situation, right? Like, it doesn't bother the guys, evidently. The girls want it. So feminism or, gender equality helps everyone. Wage equality would help everyone. There are I think to every 100 male CEOs, there are 10 female CEOs. So it would help everyone. If a CEO, like my dad, for instance, once said that it's really hard working with women bosses, and that's the oddest thing to say. Why is that? Just because they're bossy, unlike your male counterparts who may not be as friendly, and you can't be as friendly if you're a female with your male colleagues because you get discriminated against. You are called, oh, she's too friendly. oh, why is that happening? Even with me in college, if I'm talking to a guy and my college is supposedly in the capital of Delhi, which is supposed to be all about equality, I'm studying law. We have a whole discourse on gender law. We have Domestic Violence Act. We have Sexual Harassment Act. But nothing helps. Nothing helps. They would be like, why are you talking to him? Why are you giving him a signal if I'm talking to a boy? It's the oddest thing. I don't understand this. It's, frankly speaking, it's really hard being a woman in India when you start thinking about all of this. So you basically have to push it down, suppress it, and go about your day.
Okay, Sneha, let's change the topic now.
Okay.
You are two sisters at home.
Two sisters.
Did you ever feel that your relatives or your parents thought that, oh, we should have a boy also?
No, my parents, my mother didn't care. My dad, both my parents never said that actually. They've been pretty happy. What I've been told is when I was about to be born, my parents, and they were in America, they could have easily checked the gender of the baby. But the sex of the baby, sex is the biological construct, gender is a sociological construct, the sex of the baby, but they chose not to. They were pretty happy with the girl child. But then when my mom called him from America, my mama was like, "Arey, ek aur beti ho gayi." My nani started crying. Oh my God, she cried for days because I was not a boy. So you do have those problems still, but my parents are pretty okay with it, pretty happy, I would say, as far as I know.
And did you notice in the society around you a differential treatment to the girl child, or what is the...
Yeah, of course, like my cousin that I spoke of, even in society, they would prefer, if like you said earlier, like if a boy is playing soccer with his friends till 9 a.m., 9 p.m. And I agree. Right now, there's one thing to take a stand and say, no, I want to be out till 12. I get that. But the thing is that it's not safe. Till it's safe, you really can't do it. Unless you're going around in hordes, you will be most probably, if nothing, teased, if not molested and raped. That is the situation today in India. But with guys, it's easier. It's like you're like, हाँ बच्चा है, खून दौड़ रहा है उसमें मेरा, वगैरह वगैरह तो होता ही है. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of discrimination. A lot of my guy friends have it easier than their sisters. So.
And do you notice, you are quite a sociologist now, Sneha, young sociologist.
Okay.
So do you see hope in spite of all these aberrations and also good things that are happening?
Good things. A lot of more people are becoming aware. It really disheartens me when I talk to my other cousins and they're like, "तुम महिला मुक्ति मोर्चा वाली हो." जबकि मैं इतनी हूँ नहीं. I'm a pretty conservative feminist when it comes to that. But in the smaller towns, perhaps not. In the bigger metropolitan cities, I see that there is a change now. Better, good things are happening, but it's very slow. I think it's very gradual till we can, be satisfied. It's really, in the Western societies, a lot of celebrities speaking up. There's a lot of there've been, I think, 3 waves of feminism. In India, I don't think it's as strong at all. It's a very bleak situation at the moment. It's really hard to get people to understand why certain things happen, why it's rooted in male dominance. It's really hard. They don't understand it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to change anything. But, I hope it does finally wear them down and they do see the light. I hope that happens. And it may just, there's a lot of influence from other countries.
Noise. Okay, what I'm saying will not go in while he's fixing his car. For example, one of the things I realized is that positive thing, about the developing societies. Nobody ever.
Baffling. I didn't believe it, but apparently it's true. For girls, it's a big deal too. Still, I would say. If they're more liberal, parents would have a big problem if they get to know their girls are not virgins. would have an immensely earth-shattering problem. But I think boys today are okay with the idea of accepting a girl with a broken hymen, from what I can see. But I think it's bettering a little, but not much. Not a significant change as such. I mean, unless you roam around in those circles, I don't think there's a big change, so to speak.
Any other positive things happening?
Positive things happening.
Like the
Education
parents
for
nowadays,
girls.
even the rural areas, they accept the girl child.
They
don't.
accept the girl child, yes. There's this Modi's campaign, Beti Badhao, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Is that what it is?
Mhm.
So I don't know how good this is in the implementation, because we have like a variety of laws to help women, but they don't really get implemented ever because of society and whatnot. But I think it is getting better. Like for instance, my cousins in smaller cities, they've reached the marriageable age of 25 and above, yet their parents are encouraging them to study, which is I think a big deal. It's a big deal when that happens in Eastern UP. That's where I hail from. I think it's a positive change.
Also, that women with when they are working, I mean their both lifestyle as well as social status changes. Of course,
Right,
they continue to do the dual responsibility at home,
Right.
both as a lady of the house or the mother or the daughter-in-law or the sister, as
Right.
well as a working
Right.
executive or a
Right.
staff position. So, but their economic independence brings in better things, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It does. See, I know what you're trying to say, that there has been a change, but since I have gained consciousness when it comes to female discrimination, which I would say was when I got into LSR for my undergrad. Since then, I haven't noticed a big change, but I think yes, there's a lot of economic independence. The females are encouraged to study, especially in a household where there are only girl children. You're encouraged to have a job. Up to Service Wali Bahu, I think there's a show also called that. So they vie for a Service Wali Bahu, but again for their own well-being, not for the sole independence and of the women. So it's getting better, but I would say it's still pretty bleak.
Okay, last question,
Yeah.
Sneha. Between the two sisters, did you ever discuss that we should have had a boy also in the house?
My sister says that when she was 4 years old, that's when I was born, she was hoping for a brother. She was the only one hoping for a brother because she had a friend who had a younger brother and she loved the relationship between them. But she just keeps saying this all the time and she's really upset with me, but not really, never a brother.
Just innocent child's wish.
Yeah, just an innocent child wish that there should be, like, she really liked the fights that they had, the intensity. She really likes the whole. But then she looks at me. She knows that I'm such a slob. I'm really gross in general. And I'm very untidy. And these are the apparent characteristics that you assign to a boy. She's like, you're like half a boy, so it's okay. But nothing as such.
Okay, if you are given a chance to change two things.
Right.
About the girl child or the women, two separate questions, what would you do?
About the girl child, as in what changes that she could bring, or societal changes? Which changes are you talking about?
What changes would you bring in the...
What I bring in society?
Yes.
Equality, basically. That's all I want. I think that's what all feminists want. Just letting her study, not making it a big show that I'm doing such a great thing by letting a girl study. Not saying, "Arey, tum to meri beta nikli." Arey, ye kaun si baat hoti hai? Like my dad also says this to my elder sister. Tum to mera beta ho. Arey, what does that mean? So giving her an equal standing without making a big show of it, like I'm doing a big favor to you, that would help. That would help a lot.
And women?
Women would be confident, take it by the reins, be confident, be just barge through, make your own life. Everything else I hope will fall into place, because I'm also on the same path. I'm not saying that I'm successful at all because I'm a student, but I hope just barrel in, Do your best, be confident, do not second guess yourself. If you are in a relationship that's abusive emotionally, physically, get out of it, because you deserve better. You know, you always deserve better. Always remember that. Don't settle.
Okay, what message would you like to give to men and boys?
Don't Eve tease. Don't just be. I mean, you're okay to appreciate it, but like, don't make it a whole, and don't make everything an action of power. Just because you can do it, you do it. Don't do that. Just be. Don't feel emasculated if a girl tells you that you're not supposed to do something. Don't feel emasculated if you're working under a lady boss. Just be secure enough to not do these things to us. I mean, I'm not every woman, but I think I speak for everyone when I say this. So,
And about girl child?
about girl child, teach, educate her, make her do something with her life. Not that she should go out, like you said, in China and give money for her brother's education. Do not keep reproducing kids in the hope of a boy. If you have a couple of daughters, stop there. ऐसी आबादी बढ़ रही है. So be happy with what you have.
Thank you, Sneha. Thanks very much for your
Thank you.
time and your inputs.